Remember, according to Aristotle, to figure out whether something was good or bad, you had to figure out the purpose of the thing. For instance, remember the purpose of a knife is to cut. So a knife that cuts well is a good knife because it fulfills its purpose. So to figure out what it means to be a good person, remember we have to figure out what the purpose of a person is. According to Aristotle, one telos, or purpose or goal of a human, is to participate in one's polis, or political community. When we're doing that, we use our reason, we use our language, we reason, we argue, and we consider what is the good life. This is part of what makes us human, and so much of this today would be classified in the humanities. And the remaining slides here are inspired by Chapter 8 of the book Justice, What's the Right Thing to Do by Michael Sandel. For Aristotle's teleological ethics, the just society has each one of us fulfilling our purpose or our telos. So in a just society, each of us is in a role that fits the person that we are. This is opposed to modern theories, which focus on choice. That is, the choice was yours instead of on fit. But have you ever been unhappy in a job? You might have said, I'm not cut out for this. That's another way that you were saying that this job doesn't fit you. Notice you probably chose that job. So even though the job was your choice, it didn't suit you because it didn't fit you. Now, the bad news of Aristotle's emphasis on fitness is that it led him to defend slavery. He argued that some people are by nature slaves in what is called natural slave theory. But Aristotle did not need to have defended slavery. Aristotle's theory of virtue and justice did not require him to accept, much less defend slavery, which he did. That's because no one is fit to be a slave. In fact, his theory may be more morally demanding than more modern choice-based theories may have. There may be jobs that no one is fit for, even though some people who are not slaves agree to do these jobs. Some people may choose these jobs. Michael Sandel's example was chicken processing. It's a miserable job where people have to handle a cold chicken and do they have an assembly line handling cold chicken, and they have less than a second. Sounds like a horrible job. So if we accept Aristotle's theory, we might have to change or eliminate these jobs, even though people voluntarily take them. And here's a criticism of virtue ethics. What happens if my virtuous role models disagree about a moral issue? How am I to resolve it? If there's disagreement about a moral issue, which there always is, that's part of being human, utilitarians can argue about the consequences. Kantians can argue about duty and universalizability. But what can virtue ethicists argue about? Shouldn't an ethical theory actually help us resolve ethical dilemmas? How can virtue ethics do this?